Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. It is Thursday, January 18th, and Joe Biden, good old Joey, is still the worst president in American history. And as bad as this guy is, Democrats are going to show up in the millions to vote for that guy. Let that one sink in. Well, folks, I hope you're having a lovely week so far. We got a short episode for you today, but it's an episode that packs a punch because we got yesterday's White House press briefing with this knucklehead on the podium. Talking about illegal immigration and flat out lying, quadrupling down, if that's what you want to call it. In this first segment, we got a reporter questioning her. Hey, you know what? What the hell is going on with the vice president in solving this whole immigration issue? Like, what has she done? Has she done anything? Is virtually his question. And then wait till we get to Jacqui Heinrich. That is the climax of today's episode because that woman showed up, baby. She laid down the law. She exposed the White House with her pants down. Not once, but twice in this press briefing. It is one to behold, a sight to behold. Without further ado, folks, let's roll it.
That's her.
Yeah, another question on the border. Why hasn't the vice president's root causes strategy made a bigger difference in lowering the number of people who've been apprehended at the border?
Well, look, the vice president's, what she's been able to do is meet with leaders in the region and talk about how do we, to your point, the root causes, how do we deal with what's happening in those said countries.
Oh, wow, you guys, she met with people and had little phone calls and sent them $42 million to look at root causes, which a part of it was education, like $3 million in education. It was called basic education, you guys. Yes, your hard-earned tax money is going to Latin America and other countries down south to figure out what these root causes are. But don't worry, she's making phone calls, you guys. She's doing great.
And offer up any support that we could offer up. But look, it's not just the vice president here or this president or this administration. When it comes to immigration, it has been a problem that has existed for decades. For decades, this system has been broken way before this administration stepped in. So the president took this very seriously. The first day of his administration, he put forth policy ideas, legislation, in a comprehensive way to deal with this issue. And so
she thinks we're idiots. She thinks we're freaking idiots. Oh, well, his first day of office, he put forth an immigration plan, and immigration has only gotten worse. No sitting president has ever seen these numbers. Bitch, that was 3 years ago. Like, what have you done since, is the question. What has the vice president done, is the question. Well, on day one, he put forth a comprehensive plan. Yeah, when Democrats, all three branches of government, didn't do anything. So what the hell are you talking about? We're 3 years later. She's still bragging about this day one thing. Like, who cares? It doesn't happen. But don't worry, it's all ebbs and flows according to her. Remember, this is all ebbs and flows, you guys. This is traditional. Well, it's been bad for decades. Not this bad. No president. She's just trying to sit there and underskirt the fact of how bad it is. Well, every president deals with this. It's been going on for decades. No, lady. You've had like 10 million people pour across the border. What the hell are you talking about? Ebbs and flows, you guys. It's casual. It's normal.
So now, I think what's really important, and we can't miss this, right? Now there is an actual conversation, negotiations happening in the Senate, in Congress, in a bipartisan way to figure out how to deal with border security. And I think that is the most important thing here. And we feel like it's going in the right direction.
Did that particular strategy, though, was it too narrow? Did it fail to anticipate
what strategy?
The root causes strategy.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no shit, Karine. What strategy, man? Even she's confused. Even she doesn't have a damn clue. What strategy, man? Because we don't have one. I'm sorry for interrupting. It was too good. I had to take it. We'll go back a little bit.
We feel like it's going in the right direction.
Did that particular strategy, though, was it too narrow? Did it fail to anticipate
what strategy?
The root causes strategy.
No, not at all. Not
three
at all.
countries when we know now that the migration's coming.
There's root causes. There's dealing with a broken system, which is why we put forth a immigration proposal that deals with policy and funding. And so now we're having those conversations in Congress, and I think that's really important, and that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that we can get to a place where we come into a bipartisan agreement, and that's going to be the focus. Okay.
That's important, you guys. It's important that we're having conversations. Oh, remember when Kamala Harris flew over the southern border rather than actually going to it and seeing the impact of what their policies are causing and what Joe Biden's doing. She flew over the border to like El Salvador and started handing out cookies of her face. It sounds like I'm joking. Google that image. She handed out cookies of her face when she went to South America. That was her way of solving it. Well, here's the gem. Here's what we really wanted to show in today's episode. Jacqui Heinrich of Fox News, baby, laying down the law in yesterday's White House press briefing, calling out the White House, not once, but twice, for blatantly lying to the American people. I'm going to do my best not to pause it and let Wonder Woman shine, baby. By the way, folks, we do talk to Jacqui a little bit here. I'm not saying we're best friends by any means, but, you know, there's been conversations. If you want me to relay information how great she is, you need to toss it in the comment section, and I promise I'll screenshot and actually send it to her, folks. She knows about the Ball Brad show. We have talked. We're not best friends by any means. The conversations are scanty, but you understand. Let's roll it.
Thank you, Karine. Why are you repeating this false claim that Republicans voted to reduce the number of Border Patrol agents, even though the Washington Post gave the administration 3 Pinocchios for that?
So we don't believe it's a false claim. Our statements were very direct here. Last year, House GOP voted, and not only did they vote for it, but they touted their Limit, Save, Grow Act. That's the act.
Well, limit, and they vowed that it would never affect Border Patrol.
They voted for and touted it, right? This is an act. And this would have forced the elimination of 2,000 Border Patrol agents. That's what this act that they touted, that they voted for in the House. So that was their proposal, and that was
So
what
they
they
clearly-
voted for back in May.
They clearly stated at that time that Border Patrol, also veterans benefits and entitlements would never be impacted by any of the reductions. And also the bill never had any appropriations in it. So this claim that you guys are rolling out, you know, it's the White House applying White House math to a bill that never had any appropriations. And moreover, the administration or the members in Congress who, you know, put this together vowed that it wouldn't affect these things. So the reason I ask is because it's just, you know, to voters, don't you think they know the difference between, you know, what is a truthful statement and what is spin? And is it insulting to them at all to keep saying it when it's just not true?
Damn, baby! Oh, that's why she's good. That's why she's one of the top people in there. Oh my God. Just the body punches, you know? The body punches right to Karine's gut. And that last one, just that right hook. Don't you think that the American people know, Karine, that you're a liar? That we can see through your spinning? Do you think we're idiots? Oh, baby! Woo!
One thing that the president does not do is insult voters or American people, to be more exact, because I want to be careful about.
Really? Because he called us extremists, you guys. He called us a threat to democracy. He called us racists. He called us bigots. He called us insurrectionists. He called us deplorables. What do you mean Joe doesn't do these things? Again, with the lies. With the lies. And we'll catch her with our pants down, too, for our last segment. We'll catch her with her pants down. She's lying.
About this, what I can say about this upcoming election. What I will say is, if you look at the bill, this act that they touted, that they voted for, House Republicans back in May, it was very clear that
She's going to double down.
It would have forced the elimination of 2,000 Border Patrol agents. That's what that act would have done. We were very direct about that. We were very clear about that. This is what they touted. This is what they put out there. This is what House Republicans voted for. I mean, that's where they are. They have gotten in the way every time we are trying to deal with the border. House Republicans have gotten in the way. So we appreciate the bipartisan conversation that we're having with Republicans, let's not forget, with Republicans in the Senate, that's why it's bipartisan, and Democrats, on dealing with the border. House Republicans get in the way.
She's doubling down. The bitch been called out before in the past. This is not the only time Jacqui Heinrich has asked this question. She's like, where did this come from? Where did you pull this out of your ass from? Because nobody understands where it's coming from other than you somehow. She actually proposed the question to John Kirby. Later in the briefing, Karine Jean-Pierre did speak about it scantily. tried to spin and manipulate it. And so now Jacqui Heinrich has her on the podium going, no, fine. You want to duke it out, baby? We're going to go. Where'd you get this from? Well, we don't see it that way. Nobody sees it the way that you see it because you lied. And now you're trying to lie again. And you were just asked, do you think the American people are idiots? And you're pulling this move. They think we're dumb. They think we're dumb, you guys, is what it comes down to. And we ain't. We're not.
They wanted to literally eliminate 2,000 Border Patrol agents in this particular act that they touted, that they voted for back in May.
Notwithstanding all of the fact checks on that, if you're saying that, the White House, the president doesn't want to, insult the American people, will the administration then amend its separate statement that imply that Texas officials were responsible for the deaths of 3 migrants when, in fact, they had nothing to do with it? They had already been dead for an hour by the time Mexico told anyone in the U.S. about it, and the administration admitted as much in their court filing. They acknowledged that in their court filing, but the statement from the White House implies that Texas was responsible, and a number of outlets were forced to issue corrections and editor's notes because of that White House statement. So will the White House amend that statement?
So let's be sensitive here.
Huh, yes, yeah, baby. That's how you lay it down. Now you're getting called out twice in the same briefing for your lying. She caught you with your pants down. Now you're given an opportunity to speak to the American people that, you seem to think are idiots, that you seem to think we can't tell when you're spinning. Why don't you tell the American people on the podium, which they never do, that you fucked up, that you're a liar, that you called it too early like the rest of the media outlets? We didn't hear. If you guys were here with me, you were in the live chat in the comment section, you were here with me when we called it out early on day 1 before that was even released, going, yeah, it sounds a little odd. It doesn't sound like something our Texas officials would do. Just watch a bunch of people drowning in a river. It just doesn't sound like something an American do. And I said, hey, if it smells like shit, usually it is shit. And I'm smelling a lot of doo-doo right now. Go back. We covered it. We called it, baby. And they sat there and lied. And it's only going to get worse here in 2024. They're going to sit there and manipulate the crap out of everything. They're going to lie about numbers. Joe Biden's created 14 million new jobs. Joe Biden can't even make his own coffee. He can't even get dressed on his own. He didn't make 14 million new jobs. The guy can't even say numbers correctly. Give me a freaking break. But, hey, watch her spin it here. Watch her not call out her own bullshit.
3 people died. 3 migrants died. 2 children and a woman. That was devastating. Devastating situation, heartbreaking situation. So let's be really mindful of what we're talking about here. I want to take a step back and just as you're talking about our statement, look, as I mentioned, a woman and 2 children died. They drowned near Eagle Pass, which is, as I said, devastating, and that Texas officials blocked Border Patrol from accessing the area. That's what was happening at that time. Our statement is consistent with DOJ's filing. As the DOJ filing said, there was an ongoing emergency situation that Border Patrol was blocked from accessing. There were other migrants in the water as well. But
she's gonna spin this, you guys. Holy crap! Just after going, well, it's so serious, like 3 people died. Oh my God, she got caught lying, dude. She's doubling. This is crazy. This is evil. I mean, holy crap. I told you you'll never see anything like it. You will never see another press secretary like this again. This corrupt, like her boss, Joe Biden. Crooked Joe. There's a reason why Donald Trump removed the word crooked from Hillary and transferred it to Joe. It totally makes sense right now. It totally makes. Crooked Joe. The guy can't sit there and put it straight, just like his administration. Crooked Karine. I can't believe she's doubling down here. She's spinning it.
Just saying there was an ongoing.
The White House statement the White House statement says that Texas officials blocked U.S. Border Patrol from attempting to provide emergency assistance.
There were other migrants in the water.
Then why wasn't that included in the statement?
There were other migrants in the water.
That's what you were referring to.
Our statement is very much consistent with DOJ filing. Anything else specific you want to know about that? I would certainly refer you to DOJ.
Wow, well done, Jacqui. Oh, wow. She's one of the best, folks, and that's why we like her on the Paul Brad Show. Again, if you want to send any messages to Jacqui, hey, we love your support, that you're speaking on behalf of the American people, things like that, throw in the comment section below. I'll make sure I screenshot it and send it to her. She is absolutely phenomenal, folks, and just calling out the White House. Oh, Not once, not twice. And you're seeing the evil from this administration. You really are. You're seeing the lies, the manipulation. They think we're idiots. They think we're deplorables. And this has been going on for quite some time. If you recall, you guys, just right there, well, Biden has repeatedly insulted voters. And, you see the horse's ass quote there. So contrary to the White House's claims, Biden has, in fact, done exactly what she says he's not doing. Typical. I know. Oh, trust me, I know. That's normal. Like, we just saw her lie multiple times on the podium. Typical. On Tuesday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-pierre claimed President Biden does not insult voters, but he has made insulting remarks to them on several occasions. Quote, one thing that the president does not do is insult voters or the American people, Karine Jean-pierre. You saw it. You heard it. However, Biden has had a long history of questionable remarks to voters and members of the media. You guys, they think we're idiots so much so that we can't go back and rewind the tape. I mean, we did that for her around Christmas time and just rewind the tape when she said it was just ebbs and flows. She didn't say that it was not usual. She sat there and lied about what she said. So we just went back and played the tape over again. We've done shorts on it, episodes on it. In December 2019, as Biden was campaigning for president, he appeared in an Iowa town hall and derided a voter in a tense exchange. I'm not a Republican, one man told Biden at the event. I've got two problems with you. One, you're damn near as old as I am. You're too old. I'm 83. And I know damn well I don't have the mental faculties I did. He went on to the topic of Ukraine, specifically the lucrative job Biden's son held with natural gas company firm Burisma Holdings during the Obama administration. Quote, but on the other hand, you sent your son over there to get a job and work for a gas company where he had no experience in order to get access for the president. You're selling access to the president just like he was, the questioner said. Biden fired back, you're a damn liar, man. You're a damn liar, man. That's not true. I never said that. The claim Biden sent his son to Ukraine for a job at Burisma is inaccurate. The man later told Biden that he did not plan on voting for him. Biden said he knew that because he was too old to vote for him. In May 2020, Biden appeared on Charlemagne the God's The Breakfast Club radio show and said anyone contemplating voting for Trump ain't black, after the host said he should go to his New York studio for another interview. You got more questions, Biden said? Well, I'll tell you what, if you have a problem with figuring out who you're going to vote for, me or Trump, then you ain't black. 3 months later, in August 2020, Biden snapped at a reporter and asked him he was a junkie, and fielding a question about if he'd ever taken a cognitive test amid attacks from next President Trump over his mental stamina. No, I haven't taken a test. Oh, we know that. Well, shit, you'd fail, man. Even you know you'd fail. Why the hell would I take a test? I mean, the fact that he has to ask that question, doesn't it say everything about his mental capacity? Why would I take a test? Well, why am I in a diaper? Like, well, I don't know, Mr. President, probably because you shit your pants. 1 + 1 = 2. Why would you take a mental test? Well, because your head isn't on straight. And we got to let the American people know that there's nothing going on up here. Holy crap. This is the guy running the show. And then Democrats are wondering, God, why is everything kind of turning the heck and crap and shit? Like, oh, well, you got this guy. You voted for this guy. This is what happens. So, I can't do it. I'm sorry. No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? I didn't think that would get me that bad. What an idiot. Come on, man. That's like saying before. He's so stupid. I should cut this out. I'm so sorry. That's like saying you, before you got on this program, you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think? Huh? Are you a junkie? He said while turning the question back around on CBS News reporter who is black. Biden chuckled as he finished his response. I bet he did. Biden later confronted an auto worker while campaigning in September 2020 and told him he doesn't work for him, and he called him a horse's ass. I mean, it goes on and on, folks. He called Peter Doocy, as we saw, a son of a bitch. Again, he called us MAGA extremists, threat to democracy, we're deplorables, all these things. He thinks we're an idiot. And you can tell that he doesn't respect the American people because just the way that he sits there and lies and manipulates things. And it's amazing that, if you recall, Democrats are going after Donald Trump for spinning things, which he does, folks, let's be honest, but we love the man still. the things that he does isn't always the greatest. The things that he says isn't always the greatest. But primarily in a holistic view, what Trump does speaks volumes. I would rather look at somebody's actions more than their words. Here, Biden just talks a lot, and you don't get any action from him. And when he does talk, he lies, spins, manipulates, or just doesn't know what the hell's going on and fighting with his teleprompter half the time. Well, our last bit here is from J.P. Morgan CEO, where reporters gasp live on air as America's most powerful banker praises Trump's policies, defends the MAGA movement, and blasts Biden for demonizing 75 million Americans. I thought he doesn't do that, though. That's weird. Again, this is coming from Benny Johnson, which we love Benny here. That's weird because I was told Joe Biden doesn't demonize anybody. He doesn't do that to Americans. He doesn't insult them. Oh, really? Oh, really? Well, you got a very powerful man here saying otherwise. Let's go ahead and roll it.
We've got this great hand, but when people say MAGA, they're actually looking at people voting for Trump, and they think they're voting, and they're basically scapegoating them, that you are like him. But I don't think they're voting for Trump because of his family values. Now, if you look, just take a step back, be honest. He was kind of right about NATO, kind of right about immigration. Mm-hmm. He grew the economy quite well.
China virus.
Tax reform worked. Mm-hmm. He was right about some of China. I don't like what he did.
No, I said China virus.
Yeah, I understand. He may have been right. And I don't like how he said things about Mexico. But he wasn't wrong about some of these critical issues. And that's why they're voting for him. And I think people should be a little more respectful of our fellow citizens. And when you guys have people up here, you should always ask the why. Not like it's a binary thing. You're supporting Trump, you're not supporting Trump. Why are you supporting Trump?
It's hard to hate 75 million of your fellow Americans. And
I agree.
It's done crazy.
And, the Democrats have done a pretty good job with the deplorables, hugging onto their Bibles and their beer and their guns. I mean, really? Could we just stop that stuff and actually grow up and treat other people with respect and listen to them a little bit? And I do think the economy will affect. And I think this negative talk about MAGA is going to hurt Biden's election campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, it already has. It already has. Iowa caucus was losing, ran out of forms for people to come from the Democrat Party, the Republican Party. They ran out of forms. Granted, I heard rumors a lot of those Democrats are switching to Republican, were voting for Nikki Haley. But he's not wrong here. I do disagree with him on the onset there of him saying, well, people aren't, necessarily into Trump's, kind of family values. Trump has a great family. I mean, look at the way he raised his daughter. Look at the way he raised his sons. They're all intelligent. They're extremely smart. They're hardworking. They're intellectuals. What do you mean? I mean, the guy's raised a pretty amazing family that's clearly tight knit, and they're not perfect. I mean, I don't know any family that's perfect. Everybody has their issues, but his family has their crap together. So much so that when Trump was president, he basically gave them control and said, hey, you run the show here. I mean, how many people could do that with a huge business like Trump's industry or Trump's business that he's created? So I don't agree with that aspect, but everything else I do of Democrats, sitting there, oh, well, they're racist, they're deplorables. Oh, look at them and their guns. Look at them and their Bible. Oh, look at them Bible thumpers. All these things just constantly going and degrading us all the time. Yeah, we degrade the libs, but the libs are the ones that are ruining this country, not conservatives and Republicans. Hell, not even majority of Democrats. I know some of you will disagree with that, but it's really the Democrats with the loudest voice that are ruining this country because these tend to be the most progressive in their ideology, pushing the woke agenda, sitting there pushing CRT in our education system, wanting to trans your kids, push the LGBTQ community upon religious people. I mean, you name it, it's that swath of people. So you do have an argument of saying, well, yes, it's the Democrats. I wrote an entire book on it called Trojan Horse, how the left is destroying America, folks. You don't got to tell me. You ain't got to tell me. I say Democrats in here a lot, but I also use the word leftist a lot and progressive. But I think you understand what I mean. And you know what? Him talking about the economy, I recommend that you check out that whole interview because he talks about 2024, 2025, where things look kind of bright. People are kind of, I've talked about this a lot, where I think there's more going on that's detrimental to the global economy, but also the economy of the United States, where I think we're kind of on smoke and mirrors, kind of like a facade, like we're pretending like everything's fine, but in reality it isn't. And this is something he actually touched on, and we've touched on that a lot here on the show, where when you pump the economy full of trillions of dollars like Joe Biden did, yeah, you get the negative effects of inflation, but if you can get that under control, you're going to be given the kind of the mystique, the guise in terms of the economy on the stock market, which we've seen go up. Well, of course, you're going to have it be stimulated in some way, shape, or form. You just pumped it full of trillions of dollars. The question is, what's the long-term ramifications of that? You saw the short term, if you can't get inflation under control, which Joe Biden's a knucklehead and he couldn't. Granted, he had other external forces like supply chain issues and stuff like that after COVID-19. But again, what's the long-term force? And that's kind of what he elaborates here on. 2024, 2025 is going to be kind of some dicey territory, folks. Even if Trump's in office, again, he's going to have his work cut out for him. It ain't going to be easy. Nothing like his first go around. And look, Obama did some damage, man. Obama did some serious damage to this country. He had to clean it up. I'm saying Joe is worse than Obama, believe it or not. Joe is worse than Obama. That's why we start off the show with the day, and Joe Biden's still the worst president in American history, and Trump's going to need to clean it up. He needs a good VP to do it. He needs a great cabinet to do it. And look, can he do everything? I don't know. Some of you are optimistic and saying, yeah, I think he can. I'm more a pessimist. I don't know. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of damage. And I think we're going to need 2 terms of a president that could sit there and clean up all this mess that's been done. But folks, let me know what you think about everything we covered in today's show. I hope you enjoyed the segment from Jacqui Heinrich, because boy, oh boy, Wonder Woman laid down the law and called out the White House. Think about becoming a member today. We'd love your support, folks. Become a member, $4.99 a month or $9.99 a month. You are supporting a fellow patriot. And with that being said, folks, I'll see you tomorrow here on the Bull Brad Show.